Okay, so that's all the Beatitudes. We've worked through all 8 of them, but what do we do with that now? Well, I think one of the things we want to keep in mind is that these Beatitudes are Jesus' declaration for how the world could and should and will one day be. These are not teachings. These aren't telling us how to think about ourselves. They're not telling us what we should live up to. This is Jesus making a declaration about the world, that the world can be like this, that if we can allow his words to sink somewhere deep into us, if we can allow our story to then begin to align with God's, that this will begin to describe the world that emerges. And this is really important. I think we need to go back through all the Beatitudes over and over again and keep reminding ourselves, Jesus is not teaching us about us here. Jesus is telling us something about God, something about what God dreams of, something about this kingdom of God that is coming slowly to the world. And every time we go back and we read one of these Beatitudes, if we read it through that lens, what is this telling me about God? What is this telling me about what the divine dreams for the world? I think we will continue forever to get new insights and new glimpses, new awareness of what God is doing. And then we can use this as the basis to judge and interpret and make sense of everything that Jesus teaches us in the rest of his ministry. That this is Jesus setting the stage from the very first moment. This is what I dream of. This is what I believe the world should be like. This is your Rosetta Stone that will begin to unlock everything that I say and I do, everything, all the action that I take in my life. If you can understand what I think about God, all of my choices will begin to make sense to you. And that becomes a really powerful way for us to think about everything that Jesus does. What does this action, what does this saying, what does this parable mean in light of the Beatitudes? The declarations Jesus has already given us about what he dreams about the world. The Beatitudes are this sort of strange little piece. They're almost like poetry, and I think sometimes because of that, because they don't really make sense and they don't seem tangible, we move past them quickly. But when we understand these as Jesus telling us what Jesus dreams about the world, I think they become instructive for everything that follows in his project and ministry. And for that reason, I really love the Beatitudes, and I continue, even at this point in my life, to find new things, to awaken to new glimpses of what God is doing in the world. Hopefully, as you continue to read them, now in this series that we're doing in the Sermon on the Mount, but for years to come, you will continue to get new imagination for God's kingdom, God's dream, right here, right now.